Yeah.
Episode 2.
Episode number 2. Thanks everyone who listened to episode number 1. Got some good feedback.
Yes, indeed. So thank you, our loyal Lobby Lizard listeners. Hope you like that because it's not stopping. Got some notes. Good feedback, and thank you all for tuning in. We had we're up to 68 downloads for one episode with. I don't have any friends, so thank you, Mitchell, for plug-in. So much appreciated.
How many of those were your mom, though?
Probably most.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
Well, a little bit about us. My name is Chris Hogan. I'm from New England. I've been in hospitality since I was 15 years old. So if you're just a Lobby Lizard listener, not on visuals yet, this is the voice you're hearing. That's me.
Yeah, I forget that this is also a podcast and a video, and we have to, not everyone can see us. And we have to, explain things a little bit more. Like, right now, I'm wearing a Santa onesie, and Chris is in an elf onesie costume. It's
in multiple pieces.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I got some green stripes on, buttons, and a jingle hat.
Very festive for our Christmas episode. And my name's Mitchell Brankowski. I studied hospitality in college and have been in the industry ever since. Worked in a lot of hotels throughout the U.S. and landed here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, that's where we met. As we discussed last episode, but again, you didn't know that.
Yes, we met working at one of the hotels down here. Neither one of us work there anymore, but a lot of good memes. Some bad ones, but mostly good.
And to be clear, all names are made up and all hotel names are fake. And the points don't matter and everyone's a winner. So just keep that in mind as we discuss these stories. Mm-hmm. The stories are adjusted for your listening pleasure.
Yes.
Cool. How's the last week been for you? Any fun holiday plans before we get into it? Anything fun you got going on?
Well, the perk of not working in hotels anymore is I have the next 2 weeks off and don't have to work on nights and holidays and weekends because I don't work in a 24/7 operation anymore. I'm in corporate event planning, so pretty exciting that last Friday was my last day until January 2nd and just get to chill and be at home and relaxed.
What's that like?
Sorry to
what's that like? Could you see the daggers in my eyes? Just sadness.
Chris was just staring at me that entire time.
My eyes glazed over. I look like a 1,000-yard sailor just got back from war.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about hotel work is never stops 24/7.
Yeah. And I love it. Taking that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But truly, being in Texas, my family's all in Vermont. Shout out Jim, Kathy, Katie, Molly, my immediate fam. Hopefully they're listening. Merry Christmas. Miss you guys. Love ya. Sorry, this is the 12th year in a row I have not been home for Christmas.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I feel like when you work in hotels, you just kind of create your own little family of the people that you work with, and maybe not because you want to, because you have to sometimes, but sometimes because you want to as well.
Mm-hmm. It's nice when you work with people that are local and you can be give them the opportunity to spend with their friends and family. And it does mean a lot to them when they also understand the industry and business. The demand is we need someone there at all times.
Yeah, that is nice when you are not from there and you get to let your coworker go home to their family because they can drive or something, and you would have to fly to go home or something, and you get to do that for them. A little Christmas gift. Yeah,
these prices are ridiculous.
I'm lucky now my parents live here. My brother lives here too. He moved to Austin before I did, and then we convinced our parents to move here last year. So I've been here. This is our second Christmas here, so I don't have to travel anywhere anymore because we're all here.
That's nice.
Really nice. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Should we exchange gifts?
You and I?
Yeah. Did you not bring a gift?
No, I have one.
Did you really? Because I didn't do anything.
It's a surprise. I can't.
Okay.
I'll give it to you later.
Okay.
No, I wish I thought of that. That'd be really nice.
That would have been
Yeah. Maybe a New Year's Eve gift or something.
Maybe New Year's Eve gift when we're popping bottles.
No, let's set a goal of like however many listeners or followers or whatever, then we can like go out and celebrate together.
Yeah, I saw
as
we
a
actually had
gift.
11 5-star links on Spotify.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we need
Thanks,
to figure
guys.
out like what the best method of like is it like Spotify 5 stars? Is it downloads? Like what's the best way to recognize the podcast, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know the answer to that
I
yet.
think every episode we just kind of celebrate that we're still doing this and we're just alive and making it happen.
Yeah. I told my friends, I'm like, just click whatever you can when you listen to it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you can mute it.
like
Just let it play through.
yeah,
I don't care.
Just let it play and like click like if there's a download or plus sign or like 5-star whatever, just like click whatever you can and I'm sure it'll be good.
We'll get there. So thank you for persevering with us. Well, should we tell some stories maybe of our ne'er-do-well adventures? And I mean, I might be getting cold for Christmas from some of my stories.
I'm sure, yeah, if we fully told the stories that we have, then we would definitely be getting coal.
There'll be redacted moments.
Yes.
1000%.
Yeah. What do you got for me though?
Let's see. Let's take it back to my first hotel job. This was, to give you all a little context and background, this was in coastline, mid-coast Maine, a small seaside resort, mostly cottages. They did have a little hotel type building. I don't even remember how many rooms. I mean, I was 19, 20 years old. This was a very long time ago. And I was a bellman. Super fun intro into the world and sort of where I fell in love with hospitality.
Was this your first hotel job?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
I'd done food and beverage prior. Worked as a dishwasher and then a host, busser, server, all that. But this was my first soiree into real, true hospitality.
Yeah.
An understanding of what it takes and what goes into every day, specifically the operations aspect. So went there with a couple friends. We all lived on, I don't want to say on campus because it wasn't a campus, but on property. They had some employee housing. This is where I first met, some friends from Romania. I think we had some, where else in there?
Did you live there too?
Yes.
That's cool. Did you have to work there? Or
Yes.
just you did?
Yeah, there was not much housing outside of there.
Oh.
Very isolated type of Maine, but you get a lot of families and people just coming up for long weekends, for family reunions, weddings, a little bit of everything.
That's cool. Was the housing like ranked like the higher up you got, the like nicer of housing you got?
No.
Oh.
And anyone in the leadership positions did not live on property. They did
Oh.
live like in the surrounding towns and nearby areas.
Wait, because I think you said this was like a seasonal resort, right?
This was seasonal, open from spring to fall.
Did the leadership work all year though, or was there seasonal
Yes.
too?
I don't know what they did in the off season, but I know for sure they did work year round.
But they like had a salary and they worked.
Yes,
Or they like got paid year round.
confirmed. I mean, I hope so. I'd imagine. I don't think there were
kinda cool.
furloughs or layoffs.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of planning going into the next season, renovations. It was, I don't want to say dated, but it was quintessential Maine, just kind of old, homey vibes. It was just really fun. When you think of summer in Maine, that's whatever you're imagining is accurate.
Yeah, I can picture it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show. I think I've
It
showed you
sounds
pictures.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a 20-year-old, 19, whatever, with some friends from college that we all lived and worked there. Which recipe for disaster sometimes, recipe for success in others because we knew each other really well. And gosh, where do I go into this?
That sounds like fun. Like working.
It was.
In that situation, it's kind of like summer camp. You like.
As for someone that never went to summer camp, I imagine it was.
I mean, I didn't either, but I imagine it was like. I mean, you all live together and you like go to work and hang out together, and it feels very summer camp vibes.
Yeah, because even days off, we would go to the beach or just drive around on
Yeah.
weekends. It was,
But you got like paid to go to summer camp.
yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
There's this cute little like standalone ice cream stand. It was the best.
Nice.
I had that once a day.
Cool.
I did not manage my money well with the ice cream stand.
Yeah.
Money's always in the banana stand, as they say. But there were some times I got up to no good. Santa was watching. He took notes. He took all the notes. We would host a lot of weddings towards the spring and fall. And part of our jobs and duties as the bell team, we would help set up the weddings. Excuse me. Sorry, I've still got a tickle in my throat, some respiratory issues here. So we would set up the weddings, bring all the chairs and tables out, and it was all outdoors. Occasionally be inside, but didn't have a ton of banquet space. And then again, being cottages in a small area, you kind of got to know all the guests. As they arrived, you'd help them with their luggage, traditional bell people things. And you'd bring them, we had golf carts, and we would transport them. Because cottages ran around the whole, I don't even know how to, what's the right word? Archipelago? No.
I don't know what that word.
It
was like a sprawn out like resort. Like it was like a big.
It was just sprawling. Just sprawling. We're going to commit to that word today.
I like that.
Very sprawling resort. Had a couple golf carts, so you transport guests and their luggage to their cottages, what have you. There was also a 9-hole golf course, which was super fun. So you get to spend some time with everyone that was staying there. And towards the end of the year, I got a little more bold and adventurous, I would say. A little more comfortable with my setting and feeling successful and doing a good job. And occasionally the wedding guests would say, "Hey, do you guys want to come and drink?"
Oh yeah, like invite you into their like party or something.
Yeah, and I was 19 or 20. I was not doing that with guests at the time, early on in the venture. Mm-hmm. Would I do it in the employee housing? I can neither confirm nor deny. Sorry, Mom. I don't think that's a secret.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking, this isn't breaking news to anybody in my household. But towards the end of the season, I met some cool guests and some maybe, pretty ladies in a wedding party said, "Hey, we're after the wedding, come to our cottage. We're going to have some drinks after." And I was, I guess, feeling good that day.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'll think about it." And as the day went on, and maybe I consumed some beverages in the employee housing and meandered my way over to their cottage, which was kind of across the street, essentially, because we could hear the music. It was that close.
So the employee housing was like across the street from the hotel?
Oh, right. It was right there.
That's cool.
It was in this, like, you'd come down the front drive. There's the main check-in area, the hotel, and then all the cottages behind that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I meandered my way over there, played some games. I think there were some card games involved.
So were you working the wedding?
I did the setup.
Oh,
and then my day was over. And I don't know what I did after that. But this was the first time I had taken a guest up on their offer of going. And I remember I was very scared.
Oh, like going to the
because
like
I knew
party.
I should not have been doing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But there was a level of excitement there too.
I mean, yeah, that makes it fun.
It made it very fun.
Yeah. Were you by yourself or did you?
I was by
friend?
myself.
Oh wow.
Which was even scarier because I'm not a very independent person.
I mean, it's scary going to a party by yourself in general.
Yeah.
So going to a party you shouldn't be at by yourself.
By hotel standards.
Uh-huh.
But I definitely got some liquid courage. It was probably Fireball at the time. Also, we drank a lot of Ciroc and Sprite, which tastes like a peach ring gummy. So if you want some cavities, great combo, great mixer. But yeah, I found myself over there. We played some games, had some drinks, definitely had more drinks than I should have, and it was getting late. Late enough that other cottages were annoyed and bothered by the sounds and music coming from this specific cottage.
Was the cottage like each cottage was like by itself, or were there like multiple rooms in like each pod?
It would depend. There were some that had like 4 or 5 bedrooms, and there were some that only had 1. So you could book specific.
So like the
types.
ones with just one, there were like multiple rooms in that pod? Or was it like a standalone, like you booked that whole pod by
You booked the whole pod. Like the cottage was one.
Like your walls didn't touch with any other rooms.
Correct.
of like a different person's booking or something.
Confirmed. Yes.
Even like the 1-bedroom ones like didn't.
Yeah, the smaller ones, a little more intimate, would be set off to the side or just around the area.
So it was really loud because the walls weren't even touching.
Yes. I don't remember the hour. I do just kind of remember a moment of clarity as there was a loud knock on the door, and it wasn't one of those fun knocks. It was a good 3 rap. I don't know if anyone's been swatted or had police called on them, but it felt like that in that moment. I never have, but I can only imagine. And the general manager, who lived off property, but probably about a mile down the road, entered the building and told everyone they need to quiet it down and behave and get it together. Then as he surveyed the room, he saw me, we locked eyes, and he said, "Chris, you need to leave." What's going on with your mic here? Oh, there's touch top.
There we go. Sorry. Thanks for fixing.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure. He looked into my soul, and he was not pleased and not happy.
Wait, so they were knocking on your door and then...
Well, they knocked on the door of the cabin we were in.
Okay.
The cottage, and it was a
Yeah.
loud...
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It was a shut it the fuck down
Yeah.
kind of vibe. And
Wait, was it the police?
No, it was the general manager of
Okay.
the property. He came through and
That's pretty big that the general manager is knocking on a door that late.
yeah,
Well, I guess for like a small property like that.
it got up to him quickly.
Yeah.
It was escalated by apparently other guests in the area.
Uh-huh.
And told him they need to shut it down. And then he looked
Wait,
around.
so then he saw you?
Then he saw me, who again should not have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
It was not great. Yeah, looked into me, through me, and said, "You need to go right now." I tucked my tail between my legs, and like ducked my head, and walked out.
Yeah.
And to this day, we've never spoken about it. I still am in contact with him. He is also my uncle on my mom's side. So he's seen me as a baby.
Yeah.
So
When you never talked about it?
I don't think we've ever discussed this
That's so funny.
in a like uncle nephew capacity.
Yeah.
It's
You never got in trouble or anything?
I think he knew I felt like he knew I knew I was not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And he saw it and we saw it and we shared a moment.
The eye contact was enough.
It was enough. I had the
That's
fear
so
of God
funny.
put inside of me
Yeah.
in a very quick moment. And I shuffled and escorted my way back to the employee housing and
That's so great.
probably laid myself down to bed.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was my first venture of
Wow.
getting up to no good.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. There's going to be worse stories. I can promise you that.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
is just the beginnings. This is where
It's
Chris
a good
started getting a
intro story.
little adventurous, dipping his toes in the deep end.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to swim yet.
And when your uncle's not the GM at other properties, you can probably get away with a little bit more
Maybe,
or less.
or less. And I just want to also circle back. There was no nepotism involved in the hiring. My friends also got hired, and they had no qualifications either. They were, if anything, they had less experience than myself. So
I feel like that's the thing with seasonal properties. You kind of got to take what you can get. And
yeah, and they did.
they got you guys that were partying in the guest rooms.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, you filthy bellman.
Oh, that's funny. That's
So
really
that's
great.
just a quick little fun one from me this week.
I remember, I think it was my first Christmas, fully in the hospitality industry, my first job after college. I was working in Boston and I worked the overnight Christmas Eve and I had Christmas Day off. So the plan was I was going to work overnight, Christmas Eve, and then go home, FaceTime my family before I went to bed, and then go have dinner with my friend Katie, who was also off on Christmas Day or worked during the day or something. It was just her and I in the hotel. Like you said, we were the ones who weren't from there. Our other friend, I think, went home to his family because he could drive. And so it was her and I, and we're like, let's get dinner together since we're here together. There were like a few restaurants still open in Boston. So I worked the overnight. I went home, FaceTime my family, like opened gifts, all of that. And then went to bed, and I like didn't wake up in time to like go to dinner. And I felt so bad. I woke up with like a bunch of like texts and missed calls from Katie, like being like, where are you at? Like, let's get dinner, like what's going on? And I finally like woke up and saw it and called her and was apologizing. And she's like, well, I'm still around. It was like a couple hours after we were supposed to meet for dinner, and got myself together and went up to the North End and met her. And it was just a really fun memory that I have. I always think about it every Christmas. Katie and I like just kind of bopping around the North End, taking pictures by the Christmas tree, looking at all the lights, going to dinner. It was just a really fun memory of your hotel family and spending time with them during the holidays.
That's very sweet and heartwarming. I like that.
Yeah, it was fun. And when you don't get to go home, you kind of got to make do with what you have. And it ends up being really fun and special. And I always remember like fun holiday memories like that.
Like that. We would, the gentleman I worked with at the main resort, we also moved out to Utah and worked at a ski in, ski out, like Forbes 5-star hotel. People love vacationing up there during the holiday season, and boy, would we make them feel bad about us working on Christmas.
Oh, that they were there and you had to work.
Some of the most money we ever made was during the holiday season.
Oh yeah, that is true.
We would, after the first year or two, we learned how to really guilt and push some buttons, and just kind of heartbreaking stories. We would, oh man, I'm so glad you're with your family. I can't wait to be there one day with them, and just, they're 2,000 miles away. I'd rather be here for you.
Yeah.
And just
yeah. Tipping on like Christmas is always the highest.
Better be tipping fat.
Yeah. Even like tipping people you wouldn't usually tip. Like working at the front desk, you don't get tipped that often. So when you do, it feels really nice.
It is extra special.
Yeah.
Just that moment of like, oh, you know what? They took a time out of their day to. Thank yous don't pay the bills, by the way. Thank yous are nice and sweet and kind, but cold hard cash is better.
And the front desk technically isn't like a tipped position, but it feels really great to get a tip. And on Christmas, like we always got great tips at the front desk because they felt bad and we made them feel bad.
Yeah. No, there's an art to it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's an art to it.
Yeah. Doing it really subtly and making them just kind of like undercut them that, why are you here?
Oh, here to be at your service.
Yeah.
Why would I want to be anywhere else today?
Mm-hmm.
Should we outro with a Christmas song?
I did not prepare.
Well, me neither. I just sort of came up.
I don't think people want to hear that.
I think they do, Mitchell.
This isn't like you're always trying to make this podcast something else.
I'm going to count us in.
Sports on the first one. Now we're singing.
We're well-rounded individuals.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a holiday season, and if we're not caroling, what are we doing?
Yeah. I was practicing my Christmas carols on the piano this morning.
Oh, yeah? What are your go-tos?
I have like this like easy Christmas book that I just like play through, and I try to get people to sing with me during the Christmas season, and they don't like to, so I just play and sing by myself.
Okay, well, what specific song are you good at?
The piano's not here. I'm not.
Well, just pretend.
And no, they don't want to hear me sing.
All this build up for nothing?
No,
we let them down.
We are not singing.
Okay.
You can sing if you want, but we're probably going to
join
cut
in
that out.
Harmonize with me.
No.
Fine, we'll cut it. Cut that.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I think we have. Do you have a hot tip for this week?
Hot tips. Tips. I think when you check into a property, just have a physical credit card and your ID. Those are really the only two things we actually need. Yeah, people were asking
like how to check in.
Yeah, I did get some feedback from friends of the property that I'm currently working at. For those, specifically that aren't in front office, they're like, I don't really check into hotels or do that. They're like, what's the best way in processes and procedures? The best is have your, again, photo ID and not a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
Passport, driver's license, military ID counts.
That's not expired.
Oh, correct. Yeah, if it's expired, sayonara. Find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
And a credit card in your name, because if it doesn't match, it ain't swiping.
Yeah. And you have to make the reservation under your full first and last name, not like your nickname.
Your government name.
Yeah. Whenever you make the reservation first, you have to like make it under your government name that matches your ID and matches your credit card. If those three things don't match, then we can't check you into the room.
That being said, I personally am lenient. If it says Nate Thorogood, what have you, and your name's Nathan, I can see how we got to Nate.
Yeah. If it's like clear.
As a Christopher, I'm putting Chris on there.
Yeah.
You know, I can.
Yeah. There's
but
some.
don't put an AJ if your name's like Dylan.
Yeah.
Or just, there's someone, because I shouldn't say someone. Just the amount of times I see just one singular name with no last name.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. It's always through a third
that
party.
Should be like a required field.
Hot tip, don't book a third party reservation.
Yeah.
That's my hot tip.
Yeah. Hot tip, book directly with the hotel. Why is that?
Pay a little extra because they're not undercutting prices. There's no commissions given to the reservations. That's why, well, Expedia, these third party booking sites.
I think we can slander them. It's okay.
Yeah, but what if they want to sponsor us?
Yeah, that's true.
Sponsor us.
But don't book with you.
But also don't. We're going to have detractors. Flexibility really comes into play. If you book a third-party advanced purchase non-cancelable reservation, we can't cancel that. That is revenue that is now committed to the hotel.
You can't cancel it or move it or change it or do anything with it at all.
It is locked and loaded.
Yeah. And only that with that room type and everything.
Yes. Guys, life happens. Loved ones, move on to the next life. World disasters occur. You can't make a stay. Your flight's canceled. Sorry, not sorry. I can't refund that.
Yeah. And if you book directly with the hotel, even with a non-refundable, fully paid reservation, you can refund it. Like physically in the system.
We're going to try to move it first. We're going to try to push that to a future date.
Move it, and then but with third party, it's physically impossible. You can't do it.
So when you book a third party, sort of backtracking here, your card information that you entered into that booking portal, whether it's through your credit card rewards program, Priceline, Expedia, Hotels Tonight, Booking.com, you name it, your credit card information is not provided to us. There's a virtual card that is pushed into our operating system that is only accessible during the days of your stay.
Yeah.
We cannot charge it before or after.
Yep.
So once that's in there, that's why we can't change it. And it doesn't seem like a big issue, but it is. It's almost a daily occurrence that I have to have these really difficult conversations over the phone because things happen, That's
and if
life.
it was booked directly with the hotel, like you would be able to like move the dates or change or cancel or refund, depending on the circumstance. And there's like more flexibility.
Yeah. So don't be a Scrooge.
And
pay
even if you
pay a little more to book direct.
I've known like reservation departments too that if you do find a cheaper rate on like Expedia, if you like call the hotel to book and like say this, and then they can see the rate, a lot of times they will make the rate at that rate too.
Yeah. I know, again, depending on the property, if you find a cheap rate before you arrive on either the direct booking or third party, 8 times out of 10, they'll price match that.
Yeah. Especially if you can like show it. That you're,
you got to prove it. You can't just say, just say it.
Yeah.
It's like losing a lost and found item.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a Dyson hairdryer, but if you can't prove you had it here, there's nothing to do to help you. Sorry, you're out $500.
Yeah. You got to have the receipt.
Yeah.
You got to show proof.
Yeah. I'm going to check that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, as long as you do that, first name, last name, ID, credit card, and the hotel will authorize your credit card for more than just your room and tax.
Yes, usually a daily incidental hold for anything you might charge to the room, food and beverage, valet.
So there's like 100 a day?
Ours is 100. I think it should be more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a hotel. You know, you just valets. Pricing is over 50, so that's half of it, and you order a couple of drinks to the room. We're already reauthorizing your card before the end of the night for an additional $100.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see it keep popping up on your statement or your notifications. Like, why do they keep? Because it looks like a charge.
Yeah. So yeah, we authorize your card $100 per day on top of your room and tax, so you can charge stuff to the room. So if you're staying there for 3 nights, we have to authorize $300, and you have to have that available in your bank account or credit card to be able to check into the hotel.
For the room rate plus the taxes that are tied to that. And that's not something we can adjust. That's Uncle Sam. So make sure you get out and vote. And make the changes. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yeah. I think another episode would be good to talk about debit versus credit card too.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's a big one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned that's a big conversation.
If you don't have a credit card and you plan on traveling, I would recommend getting one.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, have a happy holiday.
Happy holidays. We're all encompassing and all welcoming here. I know we're dressed up.
Yes.
Denominationally, I am a Irish Catholic, so little Catholic elf here.
Yeah.
Anything else? Last words?
I think that's it.
As always, thank you for listening, you filthy lobby lizards.
See you next week.
See you next week. Cheers.